All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. My name's Rob. I'm one of the executives here. We're going to be spending the next 45 to 60 minutes together. Welcome to everyone around the country who's tuned into the live stream. All right, so the last few people are getting seated. We have an exciting morning. You can see we've got some big screen smart TVs that we're giving away today. We don't give anything away here at DuePoint. There's no lucky prizes. This has been earned by some wealth engineers, so it's going to be very exciting. A little later in the presentation, those wealth engineers are going to be getting their TVs. Okay, so let's begin. Welcome to DuePoint again. You're at our head office. We're actually part of another company. We're a division of a company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. They are a registered insurance company. They were founded in 1952, so they've been around for a very long time. No offense to anyone who's around 70 years old. That's their building in the background. They're based just down the road from us in Randburg. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there, and you'll notice in the foyer above the water cooler, we've got all these framed certificates and licenses on display. Those are our FSP licenses. We've got a long and short-term insurance license as well as an investment license, and we've also got our accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So it's very important for us to build credibility with our audience. As you know, there are many schemes floating around the country. We're certainly not one of those. So we want you, at this stage of this proposal, this business proposition, we want you to start building some trust with the business that we're going to be speaking about, and that's very important for us. This is the management and the executive team. The three individuals on the far left are all registered chartered accountants. Brendan on the far left there is our senior executive. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because their family's been involved in insurance his entire life. He turns 40 this year. And for 40 years, he's only known insurance because his father is a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded a host of financial businesses in South Africa as well as overseas, and most of which have been very successful. Brendan and his brother Stuart followed in their father's footsteps, and they founded a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, PMD, which we all know about because PMD does so much advertising on a daily basis. I even have a PMD billboard right outside my office that I get to look at every day. So we're very lucky having Brendan heading up this division because of all the experience and the success that he's had. Then Tim Reynolds, he's got a lot of experience in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for a number of years, a fairly cushy corporate position he had there before he joined the team here at DuePoint, and he heads up all our regulatory and our auditing and our financial aspects of our business. And Stacey supports him in that role. She's worked in auditing with Deloitte all her working career. She worked in South Africa as well as overseas in Luxembourg before she came back here. And then the two non-accountants, Jane and myself. There's Jane on the side there. Jane's actually from York in the UK, or Yorkshire, should I say. She always corrects me. She says York. So York is a big city close to where she lives. It's not where she was born. So if you speak to her, you'll notice she's got that English accent. But she's got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, which is fundamental to our business, because even though we're an insurance business, our marketing, our growth is dependent on referral marketing or network marketing, as some people call it. And then myself, I've been involved in marketing and advertising most of my working career. I studied design, so as a trade, I'm a graphic designer or a creative director. And I tried to do a stint of engineering at Wits, and that was far too much work for me. So I went back into the design field, which was a lot more relaxed. And within a couple of years, I started my own digital agency in the late 90s when the internet was booming, and internet design was all the rage then. And we did fairly well. And I ran that business for about just more than 17 years before I exited that company and came and joined the team here at DuePoint. So this is the team. When I proposed to you this partnership, this business proposal we're talking about, it's not so much a company, it's more the people that you're going to be partnering with. So look at them. If you're going to be here for a long time, we're certainly going to get to know each other. Our mandate here at the office, so everything that we do on a daily basis, is to kind of understand how we can support the people that join this business as much as possible. Because as a company, as an enterprise, we can only be profitable if our wealth engineers are successful and effective in this business. So it's a great starting step in forming trust, credibility with us, because you know that we've got this common interest to see you guys as successful in this endeavor as possible. Okay. So why are you here this morning? Can I get a quick show of hands of who are guests? Who's here for the first time? Just a quick show of hands. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, good. Welcome. It's always good to know the wealth engineers are doing their work by bringing guests to come look at DuePoint. So I like to understand what the driving behavior is, because it's actually quite a warm winter's morning today. Did everyone notice that it was a bit warmer when they got out of bed this morning? Pleasantly surprising. And then you thought, I have to go watch this presentation this morning. How many of you try to get out of it? But you made it here, so I'm very appreciative that you've made your time on the weekend to come look at me. And, I'm always interested in the driving behavior behind this, because let's be honest, we would all much rather be at home this morning, right? Sleeping in late, spending time with the family. I've got a young little 4-year-old, much rather be at home spending time with her. But the driving behavior, the reality of our situation is that we are looking for these opportunities to make more money, because we've been put into a position where we have to. We have to. It's not about greed, right? It's about necessity, perhaps even desperation. And so we discuss a couple of things. I like to talk about the economy. I'm not going to talk about the economy too much. It's gone from bad to worse in the last few months. I mean, the whole of last year when we were giving these presentations, we were always speaking about how poorly the growth of the economy is. It was sitting at about 0.3% for a couple of years, and in the last 6 months it's actually become negative. South Africa's economy is actually shrinking at the moment, so we're losing even more jobs. We've got 9 million unemployed people. That's 50% of our workforce that is unemployed, and we've got about 800,000 kids coming out of school every year into a workplace that isn't growing. There are no jobs for them, and this creates massive insecurity from a social point of view. You can see what's happening in South Africa. People are getting very frustrated, upset, and who knows where it's going to lead to. But it's certainly not something that I want our audience this morning to depend on. And it's quite a frustrating aspect, because we don't have any control over it, right? What are you going to do about the economy? Well, as a business, we're hoping that we're going to change the economy in a small way in South Africa. So that's one of the goals we have as a business. One of the things we do have control over, however, is the 4-letter word on the screen. Can you see the 4-letter word? The one that insults you. You see it? That one called debt. And this is something we certainly have control over. No one forced debt down our throats. We willingly took on the debt that we currently have individually. Unfortunately, it's afforded to us at a very young age. You come out of school, maybe you studied, maybe you didn't, but when you got a job, you got a salary. And when you get a salary, companies look at you and they go, you could be a great client because I know you're getting paid every month. And they invent all these different aspects like credit, terms, loans, hire purchase, all these things that get us to kind of engage with them and their products and services, and we end up paying them back over a certain period of time. So we engage in a whole host of different debt instruments. There's credit cards, educational loans, personal loans, buying a car, end up paying that off for 4 or 5 years. Hopefully you're in a position where you're able to buy a house, I don't want to say buy a house, pay off a house, because no one buys a house cash. We pay the house off over a period of 20 years. And so these typical debt instruments are almost like a natural way of life, right? If someone says they got a home loan or they got a credit card, you don't look at them all shocked. It's acceptable in our society, right? Unfortunately, South Africans, we engage mostly with debt and not the other side of financial products. And what's the other side of financial products? Investments, savings, right? We get statistics from the FSB every year that paints this picture of what personal finance looks like for South Africans, and it's not a good picture either, because it just shows that South Africans are so heavily in debt, and only when they get to a much older age do they start engaging in investment products and savings products. On average, South Africans only start looking at investments when they're near 50 years old. 50. It's far too late, because you have this thing getting closer and closer to you the older you get. Do you know what this lifetime event is that creeps up to you? When you're in your 20s, you don't really think about it. When you're in your 30s, you might think about it a little bit. When you're in your 40s, you really start to think about it. And when you're in your 50s, you panic. And then when you're in your 60s, it's too late because it's hit you. It's called retirement. Okay? And retirement's actually the same thing as retrenchment. Do you realize that? Retirement and retrenchment are the same things. You don't get a salary at the end of the month. Is the net effect of both of those aspects. So this was some data that was published on a website, on the fin24.com website, late last year, and it kind of shows us what responsible retirement planning looks like. So if any of you have gone to a financial advisor, or you've been lucky enough to have someone tell you what retirement planning is all about, they'll have kind of illustrated this to you. So they would have said to you, well, how old are you now? How much are you earning? What amount of money do you need to live on once you're retired? And then they just quickly calculate, well, if you retire at 60, this is how much money you have to have saved. And if you're retiring at 65, this is how much money you have to have saved. What they take into account in the background without you knowing is your mortality rate. Right? So they go, well, you're probably going to die at the age of 80. So if you're retiring at 60, we need to have enough money for you to last you 20 years or 25 years or 30 years, okay? So this data is actually predicated on you living to 90, because most of us in the room are going to live a lot longer than the people dying on average today because of health services, medical technology, all the advancements in medicine. So take a look at the numbers. These are the cash investments that you have to have. And if you have this cash investment in place by the time you retire, you'll derive an income out of that cash investment. So if you're in the position where you've been able to fortunately save for yourself R1,000,000, it'll pay you out 5,000 Rand a month. Anyone able to survive on 5,000 Rand a month? Not dignified at all, is it? I saw some research the other day that said the average family of 4 needs 7,000 Rand a month just for groceries, just to feed themselves properly. So we look at the next example. Maybe this is better for you. 26,000 Rand a month. Does that sound better? That sound like you might be able to get by when you're retired? You need to have saved 5 million Rand. Anyone on their way to saving 5 million Rand? Yeah, it is almost laughable, isn't it? But if you're under the age of 25, you can start engaging in responsible retirement planning because you've got time on your side, right? Investments are always kind to time. If you leave it till you're 50, you've got no hope in getting anywhere close to where you need to be. So 20 to 25-year-olds in the audience, you've got time, you can start saving 4,000 Rand a month for the next 40 years, right? And that 4,000 Rand contribution every month has to increase by 7-8% every year in line with inflation, okay? People aren't doing it. 2% of the population does this. They'll get to retirement financially independent. 2%. The rest of us, so there's about 100 people in the room, there's 2 of us in the room, on average, that'll get to retirement financially independent. What happens to the rest of us? What happens when you're earning, let's say, 25,000 Rand a month? You're 59 years old. 59, you're still young. My father's 70, he's working like a 20-year-old. Loves his work, but he's forced to work. And fortunately, he's got a job, 70 years old. They haven't said anything about retrenchment. But for most of us, we get to 58, 59, you start thinking about retrenchment. You're earning 25,000 Rand a month, whatever you're earning, and then you have to have hoped that you've saved enough that it doesn't affect you. So if you're earning 25,000 Rand a month, 20% should have been going into a savings every month from the age of 20. And then suddenly your boss will say to you, the HR manager will say, right, you're retiring next year. And you go, yes, I am. And maybe let's say you've only saved R1,000,000 Rand up until that point. And that day comes, maybe the office has a little party for you, sends you on your way, and the very next month you don't get a salary. You go speak to your financial advisor or the bank, and they say, oh no, you've saved R1,000,000 Rand. Here's 5,000 Rand interest. Now you've gone from surviving on 25,000 Rand a month to 5,000 Rand a month. What does that look like for you? And that's for 98% of us. 98% of us get to the position of retirement where we're forced to downscale because now our earnings have dropped considerably, right? So it's a horrible picture. And this is certainly not, what I'm not trying to do is scare you into looking at our business proposition. I'm hoping that if you get anything out of this presentation, that you understand realistically what your situation is and what it looks like for your future, especially the people under 30 years old. Because even myself, I'm 40, I knew when I was in my 20s, I certainly wasn't thinking about retirement. I wasn't planning for it, I wasn't thinking about it, I was working, but it just never entered my mind. And now when I've hit 40, I'm suddenly, Tim sent me this data last year, I thought, jeez, I'm going to have to check everything. Go back to the financial advisor, and he said to me, you need to be saving 4 times more than what you're saving at the moment. So a bit of a shock to the system. But out of all this negativity, the economy, the debt, retirement planning, as a business, as a division of Constantia, we saw an opportunity to create a platform, to create a system for the average South African that you can engage with easily, that's accessible to most of us, that allows you to break out of this debt cycle. And that's really what we want. You'll see throughout this presentation, I'm always going to talk about getting rid of your debt. Get rid of your debt. We don't understand how crippling debt is to us. You know those people that only start saving when they're in their 50s? It's because they don't have opportunity to save any sooner. Because if you're lucky enough to buy a house, right, you bond it. So let's say you get this bond in your 30s, you only pay it off when you're in your 50s. Because it's taking you 20 years to pay it off. If you've got the little financial burdens running around the house, you know those little financial burdens? They're usually only old enough and out the house when you're in your 50s. And so for the first time in your life, when you're in your 50s, can you now start saving? Because you never had opportunity to before, because you had too much debt. So I'm going to speak about in the entire presentation, get rid of your debt, get rid of your debt, get rid of your debt. And that's our number one goal for our wealth engineers that join this business. Number 2 is for our wealth engineers to engage with a real investment that you can depend on, that you can contribute to monthly, that you can work towards for your retirement. And then number 3, we just want to see our wealth engineers happier. Happier to work on a Saturday, right? Because if this business changes your life, it's going to be for the better, right? That's why we're here. We're interested in this opportunity that has been kind of discussed with you, where you think to yourself, well, maybe this can better my life. Maybe it can give me more hope for my future. Because the economy and employment is not offering you that hope at the moment. Okay, so how does this work? Our guests here this morning, you got the opportunity of joining DuePoint. What happens is you will contract with us, and we only expect one thing out of you, and that is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. Okay, and I'll discuss what channels of distribution look like. Through these channels of distribution, through our online platform, we'll attempt to place product with the people that you introduce to us. And that's basically how this entire system works. As basically as that. The benefit for the wealth engineer, which is you, is that you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. This is the only way you're going to pay your debt off any faster, is that if you have that extra money every month, right? Don't go out and buy fancier shoes and nicer handbags and a better car. That additional income is there for you to pay your debt off sooner so that you can start investing properly sooner. The nature of our business allows you to create recurring income. The system allows you to create recurring income. Why is this a wonderful thing? Because recurring income isn't something that exists normally for a lot of companies. For insurance companies it does, which is a great thing, which is why certain financial services is very attractive to a lot of people, even as painful as it is to abide by all the regulation that's set out for us. But what is recurring income? So recurring income is when you put effort or invest in an asset in the beginning of time. So let's call it this month. You build an asset or you buy an asset or whatever the case is, and that asset pays you out not only at the end of June, but it pays you in July, August, September, October. It's like going out and buying a property cash, right? And you rent the property out. That property asset is now creating recurring income for you because it's paying you every month. You don't have to do anything. You just sit back and let the money roll in. My father said to me when I was a young man, or I wasn't even a young man, I think I was about 12. He said to me, when you get into business one day, you find a business that pays you while you're sleeping. I didn't know what he was talking about. I had no idea what he was talking about. No idea. It took me about 15 years, maybe a bit less, of running my own business to realize the implication of not building recurring income. Because in the business I ran, we didn't create recurring income. We were a service-based business. We had designers, programmers, salespeople, some admin staff, and every month the sales staff would go out and look for business. And then they'd bring the business in, and the programmers and the designers would build the websites and apps and all these kind of things, and then we'd bill the client, and the client would pay at the end of the month. And then at the end of the month, we started zero again. And the salesman would have to go out, and they'd go find the business. We'd do the business, we invoice the business, end of the month, started zero again. I did that for 17 years. Most companies do that. Most businesses do that. If you're a tradesperson, if you've got any form of skill, if you're a service-based business, that's what you do. You sell time. And we are limited to time, and that time doesn't create recurring income. This business creates recurring income for you. So the time that you invest into building these channels of distribution don't pay you only at the end of June. They'll pay you again at July, August, September. It'll keep paying you. You can be in the position in 5 years' time when you've built a sustainable business, you can go on holiday for 6 months. Does your income stop when you're on holiday? No, it'll keep paying you. This is the beauty of recurring income. You get to leverage your time too. So this is power of duplication. This is why CEOs get such big salaries, why they get the big check, the big bonus, because they're leveraging everyone that works for them, right? Potentially, the bigger your business, the more you're going to make. Same in this business. The bigger your channel of distribution, the more you're going to make. These channels of distribution are actually you going out and building teams that you're going to collaborate with. So if you've got 10 people in your business, they're going to be contributing time into your channel of distribution as well as theirs, and your recurring income will go up. This is leverage, right? So you get to leverage your time here. It's a flexi-time business. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because some of you, and even me initially when I started giving this presentation, I thought, flexi-time, it's great. You should love this. You can do it when you want to. And over the months, I started to realize that when people think of a business that they do in their spare time, kind of as a hobby, it doesn't work for them. You won't be successful. And so when I say flexi-time, I say, yes, you can do it when you want. But for this business to work, for it to be successful, you've got to build it into your routine, into your diary. You've got to realize at the end of this presentation, right, Saturday mornings is DuePoint. Every week for the rest of my life. Or every evening during the week, I'm giving to DuePoint. I'm going to be building my business in these times. Not, do I have time on Sunday? I've got church, then I've got that, then we've got family lunch. No, I don't have time for DuePoint this weekend. Maybe next weekend. It won't work for you. Okay. No startup capital. There's no registration fees or startup fees to becoming a wealth engineer. We don't have boxes of product that you have to buy to get started in this business. So it's a very low-risk endeavor we're going to be speaking about. There's no risk, there's no qualifications or experience required. We work in financial services. We're regulated by the FSB and the FASE Act. Very painful piece of regulation to abide by, but we do it nonetheless. We actually contract you out of any of that obligation, so you don't have to worry about any of that, right? So we make it accessible to everyone, and you can work within financial services and reap the benefits of a business that creates recurring income. You get to build an asset. Now, this is another important point, because if I say to you, you need to get this business into your diary on a regular, routine basis, it means you're going to have to sacrifice time. Everyone looked a bit shocked when I said, your Saturday mornings are for DuePoint. Ha! My Saturday morning! I'm only coming here once, thank you. But if you want to be successful, if you really want to change your life, it's about sacrifice. There's no other way around it. No other way around it. You have to come to terms with this. This is about sacrifice. You made it out here on a warm Saturday morning. This is the beginning. The beginning. And if you really want to change your circumstances, you have to make this a regular thing. And that sacrifice, at least the sacrifice you're making, is you contributing to an asset that you have ownership over. Right? Because we will spend our entire lifetimes working for somebody else. Do you have shareholding? You got shares? Do you get a dividend check every quarter? Do you have any say in the business? You don't even know whether you're getting a promotion next year or you're going to get retrenched next year. In this business, the time you invest into this asset, you've got ownership over it. You can sell it. You can give it to your kids when you get too old. If you die, you can give it to your beneficiaries. You have options around this asset that you're building. And there's no selling involved. Aren't you happy? I bet when the person that brought you to this presentation said to you, I've got a wonderful business opportunity for you, you said, what's the product? I want to know the product. What are we doing? Multivitamins, milkshakes, Chinese products? What's going on? So there's no selling involved, guys. We contract you out of selling. This is a great thing, right? There's probably nothing worse than having to go speak to Jane at reception and say, right, this weekend, I'm going to do it. Please, can I get 20 boxes of your products? I've brought my uncle's bucky. I'm going to kill it this weekend. Right? Because we have financial products, these are intangible products. They don't take up space. They don't expire. So we make this business as convenient and as easy as possible for you to get involved with. And this is all predicated on you going out and being successful in building these things we call channels of distribution. They begin with you. So you become a wealth engineer this morning. It's a nice long weekend. Long weekends are great for people that are running their own businesses, right? Because while everyone who's in employment is sitting at home relaxing, trying to recover, we're going to be out there killing it on the weekend. So you become a wealth engineer. You go out, and this weekend you're successful in finding 5 friends or acquaintances or strangers or whatever to join DuePoint. You would have done exactly the same thing that's happened to you. You would have said, I've got this business opportunity. You would have brought them to a presentation. They would have sat through the presentation, and 5 out of the 10 people you brought said, I'm in. And that's the beginning of your channel of distribution. And what do those 5 people do? Next weekend, they do the same thing. They go out and they speak to some friends, acquaintances, strangers, colleagues, family members, and they have some success. And this is your channel of distribution that starts to grow organically. It starts to spread out. You only know the first 5 people. When we talk about leverage or power duplication, this is it happening. You only put 5 people in, but look at what your channel looks like after a number of months or years. And you're getting paid on a recurring basis, monthly, for every single product that's in your channel. And that's what we're going to be doing. This is what a channel of distribution looks like. But I warn you, you might have these grandeur illusions of being a millionaire by the end of this year. You need to get that out your mind. That doesn't exist. I spoke a little bit about the get-rich-quick schemes that are floating around South Africa. There are many of them. I hear many stories. I put this much money in the account, and they told me I get 50% more in 2 weeks' time. I said, who told you that? No, a Russian man. Who are we believing nowadays, right? It shows you the desperation that exists in our society when we're willing to listen to people that aren't even in the country. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. We're a business that has been around for 70 years. We're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a company called Conduit Capital. You see all the certificates on the wall. I hope at this point of the presentation that you trust in what I'm saying. This is a very credible business with very credible people working in it. And I won't tell you that you can make money in this business quickly and be successful quickly in this business, because that doesn't exist in any sphere of life. Right? Anything that you want to make a success out of requires long-term commitment. You've got to get through all the frustration. Life is frustrating, isn't it? So if someone says to you, no, get in this business, you're going to make money easy, quickly, they're lying to you. Any aspect of life. That friend of you that said, no, get married, it's lovely, it's easy. They lied to you. You've got to work hard at it. Oh, you want to lose weight. Oh, no, dieting and gym is easy. So that's my warning to you. Understand that if you want to get involved in this business, it's going to require long-term commitment. You need to be involved. You need to get through the frustration. This is a people business. We're going to get frustrated with each other all the time. People are going to let you down. It goes up and down like any business. So don't have these false beliefs, these false expectations of what business is for you. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the money. How do we pay our wealth engineers? We pay them based on how many products they have in their channel of distribution. And this is called a return. So at the end of every month, we look at all the products in your channel of distribution, and we pay you a return every month on a recurring basis. So that's you over there. The base return fee that we pay per product is £27.50. Remember the first 5 individuals you brought to DuePoint and they joined and took out a product? They lie on your first point. These people that you know personally are on point 1. And on point 1, we pay you double the £27.50. We pay you actually £55 for every product recurringly, so every month going forward. Then on point 2, it's the same. These are friends of friends, right? On point 2, again, we pay you £55. On point 3, the multiplier starts to drop. These are people 3 points away from you. You don't know who these people are, but we're paying you £27.50. And as they get further away from you, the multiplier starts to drop all the way to point 8. But at point 8, it doesn't stop there, because from point 8, we pay you that £1.10 to infinity. To infinity. So we don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. The accountability lies with you. How long are you going to push this business for? So this is the mechanics of the returns. I think that's fairly straightforward. The next natural question is, well, how much money can I earn after a certain amount of time? After 1 month or 3 months or 6 months or a year? We talk long term. What can I expect after 5 years of being in this business? So we built this thing called the path to success. It illustrates to you how much you can earn over time. But it's based on a growth formula. It assumes that as a new wealth engineer in your first month, you can bring 3 people into this business successfully. 3 people. And then every consecutive month, so in July, you're going to bring another 2 people. In August, another 2 people. In September, another 2 people. It's 1 person every 2 weeks. Sound doable? Doesn't sound too bad, right? So we call it the 3 plus 2 growth formula. 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Into perpetuity for the rest of your life. This is now your business forever. And if you can do that, these are the kind of numbers you can expect. So after 6 months, you could be earning R2,500 a month. Everyone's like, R2,500. Can I show you what significance R2,500 can have in your life? Because we all have debt. I know every single person in this room has got debt, right? And what was our number 1 goal for our wealth engineers? To become debt-free, okay? So here's someone who's got a R1 million bond. They found a nice little townhouse in Bryanston. They went to the bank. They asked for a bond because they don't have the cash. The bank checked their credit record, checked how much salary they're earning, and said, right, we'll give you the loan, we'll give you the cash, but you're going to pay us back for the next 20 years. And you said, that's fine. And you ended up paying now 11,500 rand a month for the next 20 years. So if you're in your 30s, you're only going to become a homeowner when you're in your 50s, right? We all appreciate how the bond works. Then this person joins DuePoint, and after 6 months with some success, they've got to the point where they're earning 2,500 rand of recurring income. What do they do with the 2,500 rand? It's not a trick question, huh? They put it into their bond. Pay your debt off as quickly as possible. So he takes the 2,500 rand, or she, and she puts it into her bond as an additional payment. What is the effect of this? It means that this person will pay their bond off in 11 and a half years instead of the 20. They'll become a homeowner when they're in their 40s, not their 50s. Do you know how much money this saves you in terms of repayments? It's going to save you R1 million. 2,500 rand. When I said to all of you, 2,500 rand after 6 months, you all went, It's just saved you R1 million. R1 million, but we don't think like that. We don't think like that. We look at debt as this vehicle to make us look good and feel good. I've got the credit card, so I can buy this now. I've got the Edgar's account, so I can look like this now. I've got the Woolworths card, so I can afford to buy avocados at Woolworths. Right? We need to start thinking about debt differently. We don't realize it. Debt is crippling. Crippling. It cripples you for your entire lifetime, almost. Be in the position where you can pay your bond off in half the time. Half the time. It'll make significant difference to your retirement. And this is what we want our wealth engineers to think about and aim for. After 12 months, you're nearly 9,000 rand a month. That's over 100,000 rand annually. I'd like to ask, has anyone got a 100,000 rand bonus this year? No one. There's usually one person, but they're usually too shy to put up their hand. I just see them go. You keep going. After 24 months, you're nearly 30,000 rand a month. Now we're talking. right? 30,000 Rand a month. I hope I don't see anyone going, ah. After 36 months, we are nearly 50,000 Rand a month. Here's an example of someone with a 5 million Rand bond. You'll be earning from DuePoint about 37,000 Rand. If you put that as an additional payment into a 5 million Rand bond, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. So I'm 40 today. In 21 years, I can buy 3 houses for 5 million Rand. Right? One every 7 years. Pay the first one off when I'm 47. Pay the second one off when I'm 54. Pay the third one off when I'm 61. With my flexi-time job, be in the position where I own 15 million Rand in property assets. That's 36 months away. Are we thinking that far ahead? Or are we in the cycle of just trying to survive month to month, where we don't have options? We don't have the opportunity to think 3 years ahead. Think 3 years ahead. I'm just hoping I don't lose my job in 3 years. After 48 months, you're on close to 70,000 Rand a month. And after 60 months, you're on close to 1 million Rand that you've created for yourself annually. 1 million Rand. Can you even believe that? I can't. But it's a process. We have to start at the beginning. We have to start at the beginning. Nothing changes along this process. It's the same behavior. You're just building that channel of distribution. That's why I say it has to be routine for you. It has to be booked into your diary every week for you to get there. But this is all academic, right? Because it's based on 3 plus 2. What is 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is something the accountants came up with. You can do less than 3 plus 2. You can be part of the 0 plus 0 club. We've got quite a big 0 plus 0 club. Or you can be part of the club that does 3 plus 2, or you can be part of the club that does more than 3 plus 2. Because if I think about it, I think, one person every 2 weeks, I can do more than that. But can you do it regularly? Regularly, that's the tough bit. But we do. We've got wealth engineers that are doing more than 3 plus 2. So Denzel is with us this morning. He joined on the 31st of August. By April, that should be 2017. By April, he was on 2,500 Rand a month, right? So he was almost in line. What's that? September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So he was about 3 plus 2. Running at about 3 plus 2, got to the 2,500 Rand. But look what he did in a single month. What did he do in that month? We have his testimony up on YouTube. You're welcome to go listen to his story. He will say to you, the light suddenly came on for him. He suddenly realized, what am I doing? Look at this business that I have. Look at the opportunity that I have. And he started spending every spare moment that he had in this business, thinking about it, being passionate about it, being passionate about the people that he brought into the business. And in 1 month, he gave himself 100% raise. And we run around begging for 8% once a year. Once a year, please, I just want my salary to stay in line with inflation. He doubled it in a month. And the month after that, take control of your income. Don't hope that the economy is going to change, that your boss is suddenly going to go, I haven't realized how awesome you are. I'm going to give you 100% raise. Will that ever happen? Never. Never will that happen, right? Nonkabela from East London in the Eastern Cape. Also, look when she joined. 2016, March 2016. She joined the business. She go look at her testimony. She'll say, I was involved in these other schemes. Right? She was. And she saw one of the lead wealth engineers, one of the people that introduced her to the business originally, doing exceptionally well. And she only saw it through Facebook. She said, oh, look at this person. Oh, look at the money they're earning. Oh, look, they're on the stage at DuePoint again. And then only at the beginning of this year did she get engaged into DuePoint. She waited an entire year. But look what happened when she got engaged. We've got Soso, who's sitting in the corner at the back there, very quietly. Joined in July. And is most certainly one of our hardest working wealth engineers. She runs her own business too, but she has found and dedicated time to DuePoint over and above the business that she's running. And she has got big dreams for what she wants this business to do for her business, right? We've got different reasons why we might be doing this. Might be just to get by. Some people want to fund other businesses. Some people want to help other people. Whatever your reason is. At the end of last year, she came to me and she said, I've been doing the business wrong. I need to restart. You see the frustration? She didn't get frustrated and give up. She got frustrated, looked at herself, decided she needed to change, she needed to do things differently, improved. Do you think she regrets joining the business nearly a year ago? I don't think so. So guys, it's up to you. Everyone in this audience, all our guests, have got the potential to get to where any of these wealth engineers are, and maybe even do more. But it's up to you. It requires the decision today to go, right, let's see what this business is all about. I don't expect you to trust me 100%, but because it's a low-risk opportunity, I think, well, it's worth the risk, isn't it? It's just your time you're talking about. So we've got hundreds of wealth engineers that we pay every month that are creating an additional income stream for yourself. And like I said, we might have different reasons for it. Some people might be happy with just 1,000 Rand extra every month, spending a little time in the business. Other people have got grand visions. Patrick and Pumi. Patrick wants a Bentley. Pumi wants a house in Steyn City. So we all have different ambitions, and it's fine. You can fit in wherever you want. If you're happy with 2,500 Rand a month, that's great. That's great. Decide what you want and what you need to do to get there. Okay, so over above the returns, we've got something called the XP Rewards Program, right? So we pay returns to you every month, but we've got this thing called the XP Rewards Program that rewards you with the success that you have here at DuePoint. So if you become a wealth engineer, you're going to start engaging in normal wealth engineer behavior, and we monitor that behavior. So if you come to presentations, we give you something called XP points. When you bring guests, we give you more XP points. When you log into and watch training, you log into the website and you watch training, we give you XP. So we keep giving you the XP for all this behavior that you engage with, right? It stands for experience points. It just tells us how active you are as a wealth engineer. And when your channel starts to grow, we start rewarding you along the way, okay? So here's the full XP rewards program table. You need 1,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel, and we'll be paying you a return at the end of the month, but through the XP rewards program, we'll give you an extra 55 Rand, okay? And as your business starts to grow and you engage in more and more behavior that pays you out more XP, you start to rank up and the rewards start to get bigger and better. 100 Rand, 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand on top of those returns you're getting. We give away tools that make you more effective at building your channel of distribution. So here's Patrick and Pumi with this little lightning memory stick that plugs into anything. Apple, Android, banana, phones, tablets, TVs, laptops, computers. I know, we're going to change that too. No more bananas here at DuePoint. Everyone gets an iPhone. You've got to work for it though. So this little device has got all our video collateral on it, right? So Patrick and Pumi can show anyone. It doesn't matter what device they have on them or they have on them. They can show people what DuePoint's all about. At rank 7, we give you premium luxury business cards, 12,500 Rand per set of cards. There's no printing done. These get sent to an old man in the Western Cape. It's the only person in the country that can do this. He gilds the business cards in gold around the edges, and the logo gets foiled in gold on the front. The cards are about 4 times thicker than a normal card. They print it on a recycled black, they call it potato paper. It feels like suede. Go look at them. They're in the merchandise cabinet. Because when people haven't heard of DuePoint, and you come up to someone and you say, I've got a wonderful business opportunity for you. Won't you give me a few minutes of your time? Okay, DuePoint, never heard of them. And you say, yeah, take my business card. And the business card is 40 times more expensive than the card they've got in their wallet. Credibility. This business is about first impressions, right? You give them that business card, I promise you, they'll give you a few minutes to explain what DuePoint's all about. At rank 9, very exciting, because this is not a once-off reward. This is a recurring reward. It's one of the only recurring rewards in the XP Rewards program. When you get to rank 9 and above, we take you on this international conference every year. Business class flights for you and your family, 7 days away to a 5-star luxury resort every single year. every single year you're going on a business class holiday. Don't have to have a family meeting to see how much money is in your bank account. Right? I always joke, are you going to the Vol Dam this year or to Umhlanga Rocks? We're going overseas every year. So take a look at where we're going this year.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Right, it's available for everybody in the room. Not only for special individuals, but you have to get excited by rank 1 first. Get excited about rank 9. Get to rank 1. Get excited about the 55 Rand. You can go buy a coffee, celebrate. You won't be able to buy anyone else a coffee, just yourself. But if you can get to rank 1, I promise you can get to rank 9, because the behavior is the same. And it can take you 5 months to get to rank 9. It can take you 10 years. There's no limit on how long it needs to be. Okay? It's up to you again. You decide how much time you want to spend in this business. At rank 11, guess what happens at rank 11? Patrick and Pumi got their new car a few weeks ago. I don't think people believed it when we said at rank 11, we buy you a car and give it to you. And it happened. It happened 3 weeks ago. There you go. You can see. That's our parking lot. Hand it over to them. On YouTube, you can go watch the whole video of the handover of that car. They only have to pay for petrol and insurance. Right? A car without a debit order at the end of the month. Can you see how serious we are about getting you to become debt-free? Start thinking about it. Let it hurt you every day. Wake up in the morning and go, I still have debt. I need to get rid of it. And this is only rank 11. We go up to rank 20. Behind the scenes, we've already gone to rank 28. We know what we're doing at rank 28. Can you imagine what happens at rank 28? You need to start thinking long term. Stop thinking about the end of the month, You need to start planning and going, What do I want for my family in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, when you're taking business class flights every single year? Can you imagine what that does for your kids? To take them on a business class holiday every year? Their expectation, just that standard just rises for them. Rises. They won't tolerate anything less. And that is a great gift to give your children. All right, so another benefit we have for our wealth engineers is what we do. It's this thing called the Wealth Quest. We do it every single month. It's a challenge that we issue to our wealth engineers. We say, if you can do this, you can earn yourself or reward yourself with whatever's on offer that month. So currently this month is called the You're in the Army Now, because we want you to rank up in the XP Rewards program. So if you rank 0, if you can get to rank 2 before the end of the month, we'll give you 60 gigs of data. 60 gigs of data, 10 gigs a month for 6 months. Okay? So that's the challenge this month. You can do it. You can do it. You see the TVs over there? This was May's Wealth Quest. May's Wealth Quest, the issue was called Young Guns. We challenged our wealth engineers. Find 2 new wealth engineers under the age of 30 and help them get qualified, which means help those under 30s get 3 people of their own into their business. Right? And if you could do that, that big screen, smart LED TV is yours. So on that note, I'm going to call up some of the very hardworking individuals that conquered this wealth quest. Kateko, come stand here, my friend. Stand over there. Kachela, there we go. Stand over there, sir. Soliswag, there we go. And Joseph, great. And I'm going to see, I'm doing all the hard work here. There we go. Huh? I'm a Kulenani. Come stand up. Okay, we didn't know you were coming today, so don't worry, we've got enough TVs for everybody. There we go. I don't think people believed this. They thought, they just make these wealth quests to make us work hard, but there's no TVs. There we go, guys. We're going to take a quick photo. So look at the camera. Okay, hopefully Jane's got some shots. Well done, guys. We move the TVs back. Well done. Huh?
She's using her phone. I think
Is it? Jane, you're winning. Jane. Jane, you come stand on stage. I'll take the photo. Jane never gets to be in the photos, so. Beautiful. Well done, guys. You can move your TVs back up to the corner and you can take them after the presentation. And the TVs aren't for TV games. They're not for generations. The TVs are there so that you can show people at your house what DuePoint's all about. You can plug your USB stick in. You can tune into YouTube on these TVs. Show people what DuePoint has done for you in your life. Okay. We get the question, how does the business model work? Because sometimes people think we're spending too much money on our wealth engineers, but the business model is actually fairly straightforward. That's a traditional business model, like Prime Meridian, direct down the road. They do a lot of advertising. They spend a lot of money to get clients in. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building because we don't do any marketing or advertising. None. We rely on our wealth engineers to tell people about the business opportunity. And we don't spend the billions that the insurance industry spends on marketing or advertising. Instead, we take that portion of our premium and we pay it to our wealth engineers in the form of returns and rewards and wealth quests. Okay, hopefully that explains it. You might be wondering what the products are. I've been up here for nearly an hour, I haven't said anything about the products. You are not allowed to sell. That's why I don't spend time on the products. What you're going to be telling people about is the business opportunity. Okay, that's what people are interested in. They're interested in the business opportunity. But we have 3 products which have got awesome benefits. They've got different benefits, so you, as a new wealth engineer, can look at taking out 1 product or 2 products or all 3 products. It's up to you. They've got different benefits. You've got to decide what fits in with your life. The first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product. For 299 Rand a month, we put 100 Rand into a tax-free investment fund in your name. It's not a fixed or notice deposit, so you can draw those funds, that investment out at any stage. On top of that, we give you a little bit of insurance with this investment product. We give you 110,000 Rands worth of personal accident cover. Okay, so this is the investment product number 1. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. This is an insurance product only. It is 274 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Okay, so if you have this product, something happens to you, you die in an accident, a car accident, you get shot in crime, you fall out the bath, hit your head, step off a ladder, whatever the case is, we'll pay you out 1.1 million Rand to your beneficiaries. Okay, so this is the insurance product. The third product is called Wealth Points. This is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. It's actually a discount program. It aims to save you money on the money you are spending every month anyway. So if you look at our list of suppliers there, for 274 Rand a month, you get to go to those suppliers and enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated for our Wealth Points members. So a very popular one is ShopRite Checkers, because we're spending a fortune on groceries every single month. At ShopRite Checkers, through this program, you can get 2.5% off your entire trolley every time you go to ShopRite Checkers. We've got a whole bunch of other retailers there. Hershey's is also a very popular one. We've got Eagle Ford that has come on in the last few months. 2 cars already sold through this program. Right? The discount there, for 274 Rand a month, you get the best discount they can give you at Eagle Ford. And then we've got the Entertainer, which has got over 1 million Rand in buy one, get one free vouchers to restaurants around the country, hotels around the world, spas around the country. So if you want immediate benefits out of any of the products, this is the best product to get. It's a great product to have. Okay, so those are the products. If you have any questions on those, come speak to me. I remind you of the support that you get here. We are here to support you. Everything that we do is to try and get you to be as effective as possible in this business. So lean into that support. We've got a live stream. We live stream every single event out to the entire country every day, every single day. That's opportunity for you to go and build your channel of distribution outside of Gauteng, outside of Johannesburg. Come use the facilities. You can do your own presentations here. You can have meetings in our boardrooms. Use the breakout rooms. You can drink the free tea and coffee. Use our free Wi-Fi as much as you want. It's here for you. We want you to get engaged, involved, and be effective. The decision slide. We're at the end, guys. What is the decision? Is the decision, I like this business. I think I might get involved. I want the decision to be, I like this business. I'm going to give my Saturdays to DuePoint. I'm going to give my Tuesdays and Thursday evenings to DuePoint. How is this business going to fit into your weekly routine? It has to. It has to. If you want to be successful, and I believe you want to be successful and effective in this business, you have to decide, well, what am I committing? What's the commitment I'm going to make to this business? Because if you don't make the commitment, you'll be part of the 0+0 club. That's just the odds, right? The odds are you're going to be part of the 0+0 club. So get involved. When you join, find out how to get qualified as quickly as possible, how to get to rank 1 as quickly as possible. Let that be your weekend goal. By Monday morning, I want you to be rank 1. You'll be earning 220 Rand at the end of the month, plus a 55 Rand bonus. And that's just the beginning, because rank 9 is only 8 ranks away. Sound good? I hope so. We make joining very easy. We've got iPads outside. We've got the free Wi-Fi. Jump onto the Wi-Fi. Use your own smartphone or tablet. Get onto the website, www.duepoint.net. Click on the apply button. You go through the application process. It takes you about 7 minutes, and you'll be a wealth engineer. In 8 minutes' time, you can phone the first person and say, I've got something for you. How quick is that? We've got merchandise. This is not a profit center for us. These are tools that we've made available to our wealth engineers to make you more effective at building this business. So we've got business cards. Like I said, this business is all about first impressions. If you go up to someone and you propose this wonderful business idea to them, and they say, okay, it sounds good. Do you have a business card? And you say, no, I don't have a business card. Don't look professional. Look professional. Act professional. Dress professionally. This is your business now. You're the CEO. In 7 minutes' time, you're going to be a CEO. Right? Get the business cards. The USB stick, like I said, is very convenient because it's got all our video collateral on there. So you don't have to come to head office. You can stay at home, plug it into your TV, give it to a friend. Say, here, the video's on here. Watch the presentation. Right? Got all the rest of the other merchandise. Those pins are very important because those pins signify wealth engineers that are qualified. So if you look around you and you see wealth engineers that are wearing the pin, you know that person knows how to get to rank 1. Knows how to become qualified in this business. So get your own pin. I think they're only 40 Rand. Get your own pin and wear it with pride. It shows everyone that you know what's happening here at DuePoint. We've got a YouTube channel. All our videos on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. It'll tell you every time we have a live stream, every time we put up a new video. Got hundreds of videos there. And then when you become a wealth engineer, download the mobile app because you can run this business from your mobile phone. You don't have to open up a computer ever again. You can sit in bed and see what's going on. Make your phone calls, right? Convenience. Guys, I thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the long weekend. And I hope that many of you get to rank 1 over the weekend. I look forward to that. Thanks a lot.